So I decided to start this, I don't know, first vlog something. Because of course I'm gonna participate in Summerween. Yeah, it's not even early in the morning, but it's my summer vacation, so it is early. Complaining. Good start of the video. I think it's like 10 to 9 in the morning. Did I go wash my face? Yes. Did I go put on eyebrows and mascara? Yes. Did I get dressed? No. That's a little bit too optimistic of you. So I wanted to start this video off by talking about the books that I have high hopes about reading. And I do have a bit of a stack. I've already removed one book from it. That would be Lars Kepler's The Spider. So I'm a slow reader to begin with, and I am a mood reader, so not a good combination when you're like trying to speed through, being quick. But also I'm not that excited for this one right now. It's more of a thriller rather than a horror, and I know that you can read whatever you want, and I know thrillers are within this scope, but I want to read more of the, and I'm not really sure about what. Anyway, let's start with the novels. Hiron and Leeds. I've seen this quite a few times, and I know that at some point there's going to be some visceral horror or gory stuff, and I might not be way too excited about that, but it's about a doctor that is killed and is, so the synopsis is, in an isolated chateau, the Baron's only doctor is found dead. So the Inter-Provincial Medical Institute immediately sends a replacement. But when the new physician investigates, it seems the doctor was hosting a parasite. Something that should have been impossible, as the body was already possessed by the Institute. So basically it's a battle of parasites. I just woke up. Don't expect too much thinking. So yeah, that's... Also it's called Leeds. Leeches are not my absolute favorite. Like, they're extremely fascinating creatures, but not my favorite. I've seen them, they're creepy. So they also have a medical history. I'm rambling. I'm a little excited about this one. I might start with it. Putting it down so I stop talking about leeches. Then I got Edgar Cantero's Meddling Kids. I saw... Who did I see just this past week? Can't remember. Yeah, Meddling Kids. I bought this, I think, earlier this year. It's either earlier this year or late last year. Basically Scooby-Doo. Essentially Scooby-Doo, like Meddling Kids. You know, when I was planning this video late last night, before I finally managed to fall asleep, I was much more eloquent. It's a nostalgic celebration of horror, friendship, and many tentacled interdimensional demon spawn. So I'm expecting some scary shit. Also, one of these people is dead. One of them is dead, and one of them has been in what's it called in English? Asylum. One of them has been in asylum, presumably because he keeps talking to a dead person. So yeah, one of them's locked up in an asylum, one is dead, another is wanted in 2 states, and the 4th is drinking her demons away, or her ghosts away, and I think the happiest person is the dog. I'm not sure if this is a novel or novella. It's Aaron A. Reid, Subcutanean. I've got seat 30287. So there's this guy called Orion and his best friend Nico, who he might be in love with, and a house where the basement is way bigger than it should be. Yeah, it's gonna be weird. I think I saw Gabbyreads read this. And the most interesting thing, apart from plot, which is, it says here, this is a special subcutanean made for traditional retailers. The original book is a permutational novel that changes each time it's printed. How do they do that? That sounds really fascinating. So basically there are sentences, reactions, tone, I believe, an ending, I expect, that is different with every single book from the original. That sounds really interesting. That sounds like, how in the world do you do that? And then we got short story collections and a novella. I got Eric LaRocca's Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke. Cannot remember where I saw this one first, but I'm like, sounds interesting. Have I been very much interested in horror and the gothic and the terrifying? Not really. Not for many years. But this one sounds interesting. It's like, it's in the chat room between two lonely young women, a couple isolated after their teenage son's death, and a strange object in a backyard. This one, I believe that Kayla from Books and Lala didn't quite like. I might like it. It's Cassandra Carr's Nothing But Blackened Teeth. And honestly, reading from the back, Kat joins her old friends who are in search of the perfect wedding venue to spend the night in a Heian-era manor in Japan. Trapped in webs of love, responsibility, and yesterdays, they walk into a haunted house with a heart full of ghosts. Of course, a haunted house is the perfect place for a wedding venue. This mansion is long abandoned. Even better! Let's hold our wedding venue in a haunted abandoned mansion. But it is hungry for new guests and welcomes them all, welcomes the demons inside them, because it is built on foundations of sacrifice and bone. Their night of food, drinks, and games quickly spirals into a nightmare as the house draws them into its embrace. For lurking in the shadows is the ghost bride with a black smile and a hungry heart. And she gets lonely down there in the dirt. I kind of get the feeling that the characters in this novella are going to deserve what they get. Because there's a haunted mansion in Japan with a ghost bride, and you decide to potentially host your wedding when you're there. You kind of deserve what you're getting, I feel. And I haven't even started on the book yet. And then a classic is Edgar Allan Poe's The Mask of the Red Death, which is a short story that I've never read it, but I've known about it. I believe the first, like, a parody or reference to it was actually in a Discord novel. Can't quite remember which one it was, but I was like, aha, Mask of the Red Death. Never even read it. But this is a short story collection. It's the Mask of the Red Death, The Fall of the House of Usher, The Black Cat, Ligeia, The Cask of Amontillado, The Pit and the Pendulum, and The Telltale Heart. Out of these 7, Ligeia, I have no idea how to pronounce that. It's the only one that I'm not familiar with, but it's 7 short stories. So my initial idea is that I could read one Edgar Allan Poe short story each day. So I'm not that optimistic that I think that I'm gonna finish like all these books in 1 week. I am, even though I'm on vacation, there are other things that I'm doing. At least the short stories by Edgar Allan Poe. We'll see how everything else goes. But yeah, this is the beginning. I just hope it goes well.
Hello again. So, it's, well, 4:05 in the afternoon. So I've been to the grocery store, but a lot of inconsequentials and some stuff that was needed, and then I remembered that I forgot about half of the things that I was actually needed, so I'll need to go back, not today, tomorrow. Also, it's probably not gonna be like rainy, hopefully not tomorrow. Although it was a really nice weather to be walking in, I have to say. Wonderful weather for walking. Now let's see how I'm gonna do this. Yes, okay, like this. I read the first short story in this, The Mask of the Red Death, and there's a reason why it's a classic. Like, I rather liked it. Of course, every time that you're reading like classics, there's always a certain language barrier type of thing. Like, there's a culture thing, all that to be considered. I can see why people like it. It wasn't 100% what I expected, but it was kinda... I want to say that it was a little bit better than I expected, because the language, the description, there's just a certain atmosphere. So I was very happy with that. Also nice that it's only 10 pages in this edition. So it was really nice to start the day just sitting in bed and reading that first short story. So that was a nice start of the day. Tomorrow is, I think, is the biggest short story in this collection. That would be The Fall of the House of Usher. And that's from page 11 to 39. So that's still only 28 pages, so it's still... But yeah, looking forward to it. So I'm happy with this decision to read a short story by Edgar Allan Poe every morning. How? And then I didn't start a novel. I read a novella. Nothing but Black and Teeth, and I love it. So clearly, me and Kayla's from Books and Lala, my camera's all over the place. So my taste in horror literature is definitely not the same as Kayla's from Books and Lala. She is more of a connoisseur. I am a beginner. A noob, so to say. And I really love this. I love the atmosphere, I love the culture, I love the different mentions of cultural identities. In fact, that like most of the characters here were of Asian descent, and there was only one white person. I really appreciate that, and I also really love the heavy culture, Japanese culture references, particularly with the yokai. I was like, oh, I'm familiar with that. I think there was only one yokai that I would need to like look up. Pretty sure that I still know which one it is. Like, listen, looking into demonic Japanese demons and monsters and ghosts. They're so interesting. But yeah, really love this one. So I might actually maybe start one of the novels today. We'll see. I'm very happy with the beginning that I've been making, so we'll see what tonight will bring. So, day 2 of Summerween. Well, first off, I woke up just before 5 this morning for no discernible reason. I just woke up. It is like 1 in the afternoon now, and I just want to take a nap. I really just want to take a nap. First, my video update. So I read this morning's Edgar Allan Poe short story, The Fall of the House of Usher. So now I've read that one. I liked it. Of course, the language used here is old. it is old-fashioned, obviously, given the time period that it was written in. So I had to use a couple of brain cells to try and properly understand what's going on. Edgar Allan Poe is a little bit verbose, but again, that was the time period. I like this story. Like, what happens there, I'm like, because it is, I mean, part of the ending is rather realistic. The very, very ending, I'm like, I mean, yes, it's, I want to say it's a little convenient how those elements just all came together, but I'm like, still, quite liked it. And then, excuse me, I am taking a nap after this. I'm not quite done with Every Time I Go on Vacation Someone Dies. I'm on page 225, chapter 19. So I'm well over halfway done. No one's studying. And I don't understand, what's the word, morbid? But no one's studying. There have been attempts at death, there's been fake outs, particularly with a certain person who I agree with a lot of the characters in this book. I would really love to see that person dead. Like, that person absolutely deserves. But yeah, that's my only complaint so far. No one's dead. But the story itself is really, really good. I'm loving the humor, I'm loving the language, I'm loving the voice. I do like the characters apart from, well, I like that I don't like a certain character. So yep, I will be continuing at some point again. I'm gonna try and take a nap. I haven't read anything today, not even Poe. So yesterday I ended up sleeping the entire day. Today I slept about 12 hours. It is now like 20 minutes past 8 in the afternoon or the evening. I have not read anything. So let's just say that Sunday is a Sunday didn't happen. Let's just hope that tomorrow will be better, but I really want to get this vlog done right now. I know it hasn't been like vlog. I'm still trying to figure out how to do that, but hopefully it's gonna look up the next days. We'll see. But yeah, if you watch this, I'm sorry for the suffering. But thank you for watching, and I will hopefully see you again on Tuesday if everything goes according to plan, and we'll see. I haven't even touched on Every Time I Go on Vacation Someone Dies. I haven't touched it yet, and that's making me rather sad. But tomorrow is gonna be better, okay? See you Tuesday.